Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Connor Knowles, and this is the Nerdic Gods Podcast, episode 193. Joining me as always, Daniel Neveroli.
What's going on, gamers? What's up?
What up, Daniel?
Video games.
Video games
Oh,
are
baby.
up. Video games are up.
Mario this weekend.
Hell of a week. Holy shit.
Oh my god. I'm gonna die.
You're just gonna die.
I understand it, and I've accepted it. That there are too
Well,
many
we're
games.
all gonna die. Oh, you're gonna die from the games.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha,
for sure.
gotcha.
Like I'm counting it
Games
down.
are gonna get you.
Yeah, these games are gonna kill me.
Gotcha,
I'm gonna have
gotcha.
so many that I'm gonna be carrying them digitally, of course.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be carrying them, and they're just gonna crush me.
What's that episode of Black Mirror where he's like in the VR thing and it kills him?
Oh yeah, that's the military one, right?
Yeah. Something like, oh no, isn't it
Or
like
no,
a haunted
that's the same
house?
season as the military one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of it. That's what's his name? That's what's the guy's name?
What
he
is the guy's name?
he is in the MCU.
He's in the MCU now?
Yeah, he is
Who's he playing in the MCU?
US agent.
Agent Coulson?
No, US agent.
US agent.
Uh-huh.
Oh, he plays the guy
He is
from
US agent.
Falcon and Winter
Yeah.
Soldier?
That's the
Oh,
same guy.
that's the same guy, was it really? Wow.
What is the famous actor
Bring that
Kurt
character
Russell?
back already.
He is Kurt Russell's kid. I can't remember his name though.
That's Kurt Russell's son?
That's Kurt Russell's son.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can tell now with the jaw.
You can
now that I'm
tell,
thinking
yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't remember his name though.
Never put that one together.
His name is something Russell, I think, though too. So yeah.
Something
yeah.
Russell. Okay.
But then
That
there
would
is
make
also
sense.
there's also the VR look, or the one where they like go into the thing, and it's with Anthony Mackie, where they like play like the fighting game
Oh,
with like
yeah,
his buddy and
yeah.
stuff.
I
That's
do
a really
remember that one.
cool episode too.
Yeah.
It's like a game focused episode.
Black
Yeah.
Mirror, I'm like half and half with.
I still need to watch that new season. Have you even checked out the new season
No, not at all.
from like this year or whatever? No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes
Yeah,
I
I need
just
I
don't.
need to get Netflix so bad.
Yeah, you gotta watch Fall House.
There's
Usher,
so
for
much to
sure.
watch. Yeah,
Fall House
there's so
Usher.
much.
I gotta shout out Fall House Usher. Fall House Usher was
I
incredible.
was planning on doing it this week going into Halloween.
Yeah.
So like I'm gonna try to.
Oh,
I'm gonna get it.
that's a perfect
Yeah.
time for it. Yeah, the Fall House Usher really good. Flanagan don't miss. You know,
Flanagan, it doesn't. He hasn't.
he really
hasn't
does
missed.
it. He really does it. I didn't watch the one from last year because people say that one's bad. To be fair, but at some point,
That's
I
not
gotta
a
get around with
Flanagan
that.
verse.
It's. I don't think he considers it, but it is something he wrote and directed.
Yeah. Knowing that it wasn't a Flanagan verse thing or whatever, like
It's funny because I think we all knew this is the one he's putting all his effort
Yeah.
into. Yeah, and it seemed like last year's was just like contractual obligations.
the way to tell is Rahul Kohli. Is Rahul Kohli in it?
Yeah.
Then he's going all in.
Then
on
he's
Rahul.
going all in. Yeah,
you know?
Rahul's in it, dude. You know who kills it in Fallout Usher is Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill fucking kills it.
That's right. He's in it.
Yeah.
Is he a big character or is he like more of a side character?
No, he's decently big. He's not like the main character, but he gets just as much of a part as like everyone else almost. I'd say.
Okay,
So,
sweet. I
yeah.
love to see a
Kills it.
different version of Mark Hamill.
Yeah, it's really interesting, like watching him actually like act. You know,
Do
it's
something. Yeah, that isn't
Yeah.
this Joker. Or,
yeah, like because he's not voice acting, he's actually himself here. It's just
Cool.
wow, he's not Luke Skywalker right now. Crazy. So yeah.
So
just
is
really
Edgar
good.
Allan Poe the main character, or like what?
No, so it's just
Is this just something that Poe wrote? Is that what it is?
so each episode is a different short story of Edgar Allan Poe's, pretty much.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's pretty much how
So
it
it's
goes.
not a through line.
No, it is. It's just he kind of connects all the
Oh.
short stories together in like a modern day version of that. If that
I
makes
didn't
sense.
know that.
Yeah, it's very
Okay.
interesting the way they do that. And I kind of completely forgot about the Edgar Allan Poe connection until like the last like 3-ish episodes, because I don't know if they made you do this in like high school or whatever, but like just we'd read a bunch of Edgar Allan Poe short
The Raven.
stories. Yeah, the Raven, the Pendulum one, the fucking
Yeah.
cat one and shit. And then I started realizing, like, oh, these are the Edgar Allan Poe stories after
Yeah.
a couple of episodes. The episodes are literally titled what the short stories are called.
Oh, yeah,
too.
yeah, it's
yeah.
called,
So
yeah.
yeah, but it's just funny. Like halfway through, I was like, oh, these are just those, aren't they?
That's awesome.
yeah, really great series though. Everyone should check it out.
I am excited to watch it.
Yeah, it should be. But Daniel, it's been another busy week in the world of video games.
Yeah, some good stories, some stories that maybe just exhale in just relief of my international nightmare is finally over. we, we can get into it.
All right, we'll get into that first. Late last week, the CMA officially approved Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard. Then soon after, Xbox finalized the deal and now owns Activision Blizzard. Finally, Daniel, it is over. What is it? 18 months later, maybe a little
Something
more at
like
this
that.
point.
18 to 20 months, yeah.
Yeah, 20-ish months later, we are here. I thought we'd be old and gray by the time this was over.
Me too.
But thank God. I feel like we started this podcast when that should happen. But
It feels like it.
yeah, man, it's been quite the long road. We are here. It's done. How you feeling?
Oh boy. It feels like that all this was kind of a waste, if I'm gonna be honest. Like this, like drawing it out. Like I understand these type of deals really need to be scrutinized and stuff, but like, man, it just feels like it was inevitable the whole time. It might have been rockier than anyone thought, but like, man,
Yeah, there really
it's
only was like one point where it kind of started to feel dicey, sort of like in the middle, where it was kind of just
yeah,
like, okay, is this gonna happen? And then like, but other than that, in the beginning right away, it was like, oh, this is happening. And then towards these last, say, like 4 months, it's just been like, oh, this is happening.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, there was a little period where it's like, oh, well, it was like when the CMA blocked it, yeah, and all that kind of stuff. It was like, oh, what's going on and stuff. But yeah, now it's through, and um, we'll have to see when they start adding the games. And really, I guess the back catalog, because they're not going to do the new Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3, or even really Diablo 4 this year, I would assume, or I guess next year. They'll probably do it later, but that first batch is going to be a lot of their back catalog stuff.
Yeah.
Crashes, Tony Hawk, old Call of Duties, probably stuff like that. Older Diablos.
So Phil did do an interview earlier this week with
Well, that's right. Yeah, I didn't
I
listen
forget
to
with
it.
who. Yeah, I didn't listen to it either. I just read his quotes, but we won't be getting Activision Blizzard games on Game Pass till 2024, and I would expect more of a slower rollout for them.
Yeah, maybe not just a huge dump, but I think
Yeah,
there's just a lot more games here than there would be with like ZeniMax and Bethesda had.
yeah.
Even though there's a good amount of games that they had, but I think this is like significantly more.
I think it
Like
will still feel kind of like a huge dump, but it'll just be like, here's all the Call of Duty games, one month or
yeah,
whatever, and then
or
next
maybe
month is
1 week
something
market
else.
the crash stuff or
Yeah,
something,
something
right?
like that, right? Yeah. So we'll have to see. It's exciting times for Game Pass, definitely.
Yeah. Do you think that next year's another price bump? So was it 18 right now, right, for Ultimate
Yeah.
with getting PC
So
and
they did
and
they did the minor bump earlier this year,
yeah, it was like
right?
two,
Like it was $2.
$3 or whatever.
I would expect that to just kind of keep happening, maybe
Maybe
yearly.
go to 20 next year.
Yeah, something like that. It was
Ultimate.
yeah. I don't think we're gonna like wake up and it's like $20 more one day or something like that. I think it'll.
That'd be significant, and they
Yeah,
would probably lose a lot of subscribers if they
yeah.
did
I,
that.
I would definitely expect. I mean, this is what Netflix does too. Is like they'll just raise it a couple
Yeah, a little
dollars here and
increment.
there every now and then, and that way you don't notice as much, right?
Yeah, I think Netflix just did it again
It did.
recently.
Yeah, their premium went up to like 23 now or something. I think
Oh,
it's like 22.99 or some shit. It's like how
that's a
man,
lot.
remember it's so cheap, Daniel.
It
It
was like
was so
$10
cheap. It's
or $8 or
$10.
something.
There's so much shit on there. Now it just
Yeah.
feels like there's less on there. I know there's more on there, but it's like it feels
It's
like
because
there's
of
less
their
and less over time.
It's just because of their own production stuff. That's
Right.
way.
Yeah,
Like it's
they
like they're
keep flooding
doing a
it with
lot more.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was such a better value when we had all the HBO stuff and the Showtime stuff and stuff like
All,
that.
me-
All those
Remember back
series.
in we were in high school, that all the anime that they used to have. They
Yeah,
got a lot more back now. Like it's better now, but there was a period where they like had like a ton of anime, and then they just didn't have all that.
yeah.
Like there was so much anime in high school that I watched on Netflix because it was easy. I just had Netflix. I didn't have Crunchyroll at the time or anything, and I just watched a lot of anime. And then yeah, um, I hope that it doesn't go up too much, Game Pass, but I I think 20 is reasonable, at least for right now.
I do too. I think with the value you get, honestly, and how many first party games they're going to be putting out within the next few years, I mean, I could. Uh, my limit's pretty high, like
Yeah, what, 40?
probably, yeah, probably
If they're
around
doing
there.
one AAA release, like triple
If we're
A.
actually getting the AAA release every 3 months, I would do
No,
40.
I'm saying every month.
Every
I'm
month.
saying
Wow.
if every month, think how many studios they have, right?
Yeah.
What, 30 something studios? There's almost no way they can't have a AAA release at some point between any of those studios, you know?
Yeah.
It'd be really
No,
tough for them to not.
you're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong.
At least every other month for sure,
Yeah.
right? So like, I mean, I don't know, what would you pay for a AAA game every or for in Game Pass, but
That's the
like a
thing with
AAA
like
game a
me.
month?
It's like as long
Like
as it's
40,
cheaper than actually purchasing the game, I would just
yeah.
buy it on Game Pass because I will beat it within that month, more than
And then
likely,
you
right?
get everything else that's there.
Exactly, and like, and then I just have it, and I don't have to pay full price for the game.
Yeah. How often are you, I guess this doesn't, maybe not necessarily first party games, but how often are you like, I'm gonna play Cocoon.
Hmm.
Are at any point are you gonna like buy Cocoon? Just say it comes off the Game Pass or
Mm,
something.
if
Are you just like a
well,
one and
the
done? I'm
only
beating
reason
it.
I would is if I wanted to go and platinum it on PlayStation.
Okay,
That's really it. And for that, I would need like a deep sale, right? Like Cocoon's actually a good
sure.
example, right? That is a game that if I had it on PlayStation, I would have platinumed probably.
Yeah.
Depending on, I didn't actually look at the achievements, so I don't know how easy they are, but I'm assuming that was a pretty easy platinum. So like if I saw that on sale for like, I know it's 25 normally, so if I saw that on sale for like $10, I'd probably buy it for $10 and platinum it
But
if
on
I
a
had the
completely
time
different
and I
platform,
wanted to
though.
play it. Yeah, on a completely different platform. Yeah,
But on Xbox,
on
would you
Xbox.
ever would you ever buy a game that you had previously played on Game Pass?
Not like Cocoon, no, because that's like a 4 hour experience and I already beat it, right? So
Okay.
like, but if it's like a Skyrim or something like that, maybe.
I mean, that's getting to first party. That's what I guess where it gets a little
Sure, sure. That's
weird.
that's just an example though. Like a
Yeah.
game that size, right? Like
Okay.
I would need
Okay.
like a
Sure.
giant replayable
Like
RPG for
Eliza P,
that.
maybe.
Even that's like not like super replayable, right? Like I don't see myself ever jumping back into
Just
one of those
builds,
a
but
Souls
yeah.
game I played again. I know a lot of
Yeah.
people do, and a lot of people love doing that, but man, there's something moving to your right, and that really bothered me.
Yeah, it's a balloon.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
balloon.
That freaked me the fuck out, did you?
It's spinning. It's spinning a little
I'm too
bit.
into the fall of House Usher mindset where I'm just looking for ghosts in the background.
Someone's gonna attack me.
Like, oh my god. Oh, I feared for your life right there. All right. But yeah, so yeah, no, I would need like a highly replayable type of thing there, or I'm not like super into multiplayer games, but like or a multiplayer game that I just can't put down,
Okay.
right? So
Yeah,
then
I'm just
maybe
kind
I
of
would.
curious of like just getting like your perspective on like would you purchase a game like that? Or even
Yeah, my
like
perspective is a little weird. I think other people would, right? Like I think like Destiny, right? When that like left Game Pass,
that for sure.
I'd imagine a lot of
Yeah.
people then bought Destiny, even though they originally got it through Game Pass and
Because it was
played the
on Game Pass
majority
for
of
a
it through
while.
there. Yeah. So like a game like that, I'd imagine a lot of people went out and bought on Xbox after it left. And maybe that's the play with certain companies, right? Or certain things. Like I know Persona 5 Royal is leaving, right? But I imagine a lot of people that started that didn't beat it. So maybe they
True.
go out and buy that now, right? Because that game's just so long.
What's your perspective on like see, I guess this gets weird because they do give the devs money, but like to put it on Game Pass, but like supporting a developer, right?
Yeah.
Like Cocoon or whatever. Like, would you not buy it to like, hey, give them a little bit more, right? I'll actually
Yeah.
purchase it now, right? Even if you've already beaten it. Is that like a thought, even for just a game you might not really play again?
I would have to like love the game a lot,
Okay.
and it's like I did love Cocoon a lot, but not enough to drop another 25 on it just to support you guys. Like, in my mind, you guys already got paid too for
Or that's
putting
what I
it
was
on
saying.
Game
Yeah.
Pass,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's like, yeah, and it's like, and I did support you by playing it, right? So it's like you do get player count numbers, and that does benefit you in some way. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm the wrong person to ask. I think there's a lot because I've two other consoles besides the Xbox, and
It's
I'm
true.
playing games all the time. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I will say on my Xbox, I don't know if I've bought a single game on Series
At least in
X.
a while, right?
Yeah, in a while. I mean, I know I own Halo, but that came with the console, that special
Yeah,
edition
I'm
one.
trying to think of like what game, even like a
Like I haven't
was there not
bought a
even like an
single like game off Xbox. Oh, you know what I did buy was Evil Dead because that was I mean you were playing that a little bit.
right.
Yeah, that was the last game I
No,
bought.
wasn't that Game Pass?
Was that on Game Pass?
I think that was Game Pass when we played that. I don't think that we bought that game.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
maybe I'm crazy. I thought we bought
No,
that.
there had to have been a game you bought recently because there has been like third party like games that like marketed on Game Pass first or just on Xbox first. They're usually
That
on Game
haven't
Pass,
been
but
on
like
Game Pass.
yeah,
See,
I
like
think
I
there
thought
has
that's
been.
what Cocoon was. I thought that was the case with Cocoon because I just didn't know that was on Game Pass. But yeah, it
Yeah.
was on Game Pass.
Trying to think of what one would you have bought? Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I tend to just play even third party stuff on Xbox, right?
Right,
Like that's just because of the controller and stuff. Like that's my preferred platform. So I do buy games there and stuff. Like here's one I know brand new for me is El Paso Elsewhere.
right,
It's like
yeah,
that game wasn't on. I thought that maybe it could have been, but like that's like one that's only on PC and Game Pass, I think, or PC and Xbox. I don't think it's on PlayStation or Switch yet, but like that's one. Like yeah, I just bought that. Like I probably would have played it if it was on Game Pass, but I don't mind throwing them whatever it was, $20.
No, yeah, I certainly don't mind. I mean, if you guys make something like I mostly play on PlayStation, so I'm gonna buy all my shit through there. So,
Yeah,
but if they have an Xbox exclusive that's not on Game Pass, I will buy it on there.
definitely. Yeah, I was just curious. I was just kind of curious and your perspective on, purchasing games that have been on Game Pass and things like that.
Yeah. Getting back to the deal though, we're done.
Yeah.
With the deal, here it is. So, what do we think now, Daniel? Do we
Hmm.
did the floodgates open now? This is probably my main question, my main thought. Are we gonna see? I know we've already been seeing a ton of acquisitions left and right, but are we getting even more now? Are big publishers gonna start going left and right now too?
I, if I'm going to be honest, I don't think this broke any floodgates. Like I think that the floodgates have been open. I
Hmm.
think this was a response to the floodgates being opened, if that makes sense. I think this is the response of that. So, like, could there be a response to this? Yeah. Um, I think there definitely could be. I mean, really the company I would personally look at. I know everyone wants to jump to PlayStation. Are they going to try to get somebody in the Japanese market? But the company I would look to see what they're going to do is Tencent.
Right.
They already buy a lot, and even they'll not even just outright buy. They invest in a lot. Like they have their tendrils everywhere.
Yeah.
Like they have markets and even Epic and stuff. So
Highest
maybe
revenue owner in video games, right?
yeah,
Earner
boom.
in video games, right?
And a lot of that's
And
probably
a lot of
League.
people can't even tell you what they make, right? What they
League.
own, right? Yeah,
I mean, League's their biggest thing, so that's probably where most of their money comes from. But like they own parts of a big, huge chunk of Epic. Like they own like 40 something percent of Epic or something like that. It's like less than 50, but it's like that makes them a lot of money.
yeah. They own a part of FromSoft too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Recently from Soft. So yeah, I mean, could they buy something? Yeah, that's what I
probably.
would look at.
I think th- my wonder with the floodgate opening thing is that the floodgates open for giant publishers to now be purchased, right? Like your
Yeah,
Squares, your Capcoms, your EAs, your Ubisofts,
yeah.
and
Who
we
would be the
already
next
know
one?
a few of those want to be sold.
Ubisoft, probably.
Yeah, Ubisoft.
It's been seeming like it, but they've been kicking still.
Yeah, and it's like, is just a random company gonna come through and buy those? Like someone we're not even thinking of. It's
What if we see a merger?
yeah, could see another
More of a
merger or something like
merger
that.
because
Yeah,
like all those Japanese companies did Bandai and Namco and Square and Enix and
yeah,
Koei and Tecmo, right? Like a lot of those were two companies that came together, right? Like maybe we're not going to necessarily see consolidation in all these Xbox and PlayStation buying everything or Tencent buying everything. It's like maybe it's Koei and Tecmo and Capcom or
hmm
something, and then they become something, or like Bandai Namco and whatever Square come together or something.
I
Like
mean, we were just talking about last week Disney buying EA, right? Like
yeah,
that's
or Ubisoft
real
going to
possibility, right?
EA.
Or Ubisoft, right? Yeah, something like that.
I feel like
Well,
they fit together.
I was listening to Defining Duke last week, and Lord Cognito, he's been hearing that EA wants to be sold too. So that's
Interesting.
yeah, very interesting thing to put out
What
there.
about Take Two taking them?
Maybe,
They're huge. They're the
yeah.
next biggest thing, right? Or is Take Two bigger than EA? Or is EA bigger than Take
Mm,
Two?
I'd imagine EA is a bit bigger, right? All those sports
The
franchises,
sports games
yeah, gotta be a bit
could be.
bigger.
Yeah, could be.
Take Two kind of relies very heavily on GTA. So I
Like
mean,
GTA,
certainly,
Borderlands.
yeah,
Well, they also have 2K.
Yeah, they got that whole side, the NBA games and stuff like that
Yeah.
too. And yeah, I mean, Take-Two's huge as well. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I don't know. We did get those numbers one time. I forget where Take-Two and EA lied
Yeah, there was that
exactly.
whole chart. That's
Yeah.
right.
So yeah,
Yeah, maybe EA is
I'm curious if who goes next, right? If we do live in a world where these companies start getting bought up left and right, right?
Yeah, we talked about the
Not
Disney one
just studios, but publishers.
yeah. We talked about Disney buying that EA last week, but I don't know. What about Apple
Yeah,
tries to
Apple
do it,
coming to
or
Amazon.
Amazon,
Yeah.
or another one that's maybe under the radar is maybe Netflix with their gaming division,
Mm,
right? Like,
certainly.
what if they are like, we're gonna we're gonna start getting a big company. Boom, we're gonna put it on our mobile stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I could definitely see a world where that ends up happening too. Yeah,
It's like
and
they really seem to
that
care about
worries
gaming.
me so much more than PlayStation or Xbox or Nintendo buying them.
Yeah.
It's like these guys don't know what they're doing with games. That's just the numbers to them, really. It's like
Amazon is the
I
one
know
that's at least been
Amazon dips their
trying.
toes in
Yeah.
and they want to do stuff right, but it's like, I mean, I trust Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo way more than that.
Yeah.
Or
They're
any
proven.
company that's been a long gaming company, right?
Yeah, they're definitely proven for sure. I mean, Netflix is also in a weird way because like they're trying.
Yeah. I do
They bought it.
like that Netflix made their own studio too, right? Like
Yeah, they
that's
made the.
cool.
We'll see what they end up doing.
Yeah, I like the idea that you guys are creating jobs instead of just purchasing people, right?
But
And
they did
then
purchase.
more than likely laying people off, right?
Yeah, they did do a purchase. A very interesting purchase. I forget the name of that studio. The Oxenfree studio.
Night school.
Night School.
Yeah.
They did purchase Night School, which is actually a really interesting purchase for them. Um, we'll see what they do after Oxenfree 2.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll work on like a Netflix property, Midnight
Stranger
Mass
Things, man.
game or Stranger Things game.
Me and Sims were talking about this when me and him both played Oxenfree. But yeah, we were talking about that. Like they'd be perfect for a Stranger Things game.
Yeah.
I think they could knock that out of the park if they wanted to.
I mean, Oxenfree could just be a Stranger Things game.
No, yeah, really could. That's the thing. Is like, wow, you guys could really make a great Stranger Things game if you guys really wanted to there. But yeah, I think that that was a purchase that very much made sense for Netflix because you could stream those games very easily,
Sure.
right? That's not like a
Yeah.
fucking fast-paced multiplayer game where you need to be connected to the internet and all that. So I could see Netflix purchasing more studios like that in the short term. But then, with cloud gaming getting better and better, right? They're gonna be looking at different things, and it sounds like the team that Joseph Staten joined, that might end up being a multiplayer project, right? So
Yeah,
we'll have to
that's
see
their
how that
big
all works
studio
out
that they
too.
made, right?
Yeah, Netflix is in such a great position with cloud gaming about to be
They have a lot of tech.
cloud gaming seeming like it's on the cusp of becoming a big thing, right? Because they're already on everyone's television, everyone's console, they're everywhere already, right?
They just have to make it seamless. That's the problem. I know people have a lot of problem with the mobile because you also have to download right now.
Yeah,
Once they make it seamless and it's just there, it's on your console, it's on your phone. You just have the Netflix app and it's there, and you just very much like how Stadia was marketing it, right? Like you
yeah.
just click, boom, you're playing. Once it's that, Netflix is going to kill it because they have the tech already. Like
Hmm.
they have very good streaming tech. Um, yeah, it's going to be interesting. There has to be a point when like they're going to want to like branch out more to not just their platform. Like they're gonna want to, because like even Oxenfree 2 is not just on Netflix,
Right.
right? Like they're gonna still want to be on consoles. So I know they want to do maybe more handheld and mobile games, but like they're gonna want to do big AAA games. Whatever Staten's game is, like that's gonna be a AAA game.
Yeah, for
They
sure.
gotta have to put it everywhere.
I
They
could see
can't
a
just
world in like 5 years or so where you do have to play those games through the Netflix app, though. At least, like you could still play it on whatever console you want, but you do have to click into Netflix and then play the games through that.
well 5 years. That would probably be when this game comes out.
Right, right around
You
then.
think that you think that that's what the goal is? Just get
Maybe,
more people
maybe.
to.
Again, it depends how good everyone's technology is by then, right? Like how seamless is the cloud streaming at that point. But yeah, I could see a world where that's entirely possible.
I guess you got to get a big game to get people in, right?
Hmm.
And if it's like, what is Staten? Is he like? Do we remember what like his
Yeah, I don't
role is
remember what the
there?
role is there. No, I know there's other big names there though too. So
Yeah,
yeah, I don't remember
yeah. I don't know if he's
specifically his
game
role.
directing or anything,
Yeah.
but yeah, like market like Staten and whoever else they have, like that's the next big AAA game from like makers of Halo and stuff. Like
Yeah.
that's how you get it.
Oh,
To
that's
get
gonna
a
be
lot
put
of people
on
to
there,
sign up.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So very interesting times ahead. You know, we got
Yeah.
those leaked documents with Xbox next gen plans, so all the Activision Blizzard games, I'm sure, are going to be involved in that in some big way. It's going to be huge when Call of Duty starts coming to Game Pass. I think the court documents said that can't happen until 2025, but when that launches on Game Pass, whatever, the first Call of Duty that like launches day one with Game Pass, that's going to be a huge deal.
Yeah, if I'm thinking correctly, this year really threw off the pace. Because
Of
like it
what?
should be of Call of Duty.
Oh, okay.
Because this year should be a Sledgehammer game, right? Like it would have been Vanguard 2 or actually no, I guess it should have been a Black Ops game. Like the games have been thrown off pace, but next year's will be a Black Ops game or a Treyarch game, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah, it's got to be
So
Treyarch, right?
the 2025 one, you would have assumed that would have been a Sledgehammer game, or no, maybe at that point would have been an Infinity Ward game. Um, so that's what I'm thinking, but it's not going to be
Yeah,
a Modern
before all
Warfare.
this, I would assume that one would have been Modern Warfare
The
3.
Modern Warfare, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. This should have been a Sledgehammer produced game,
yeah.
which it is. I
Sledgehammer
think
made this game, right? Though
yes, I think they
Modern
still
Warfare
did
3.
it, but or I think they're also being assisted by Infinity Ward, but because I think this is when now they're starting to use that same engine like they were talking about using Infinity Ward's engine and not
Yeah,
having Treyarch have their own.
yeah, yeah.
So this is probably having everyone try to get used to it, but yeah. So I don't know what 2025 Call of Duty would be. I guess at this point it'd be an Infinity Ward game, which I don't think it'd be a Modern Warfare game. It
Did they
could
do
be.
Modern Warfare 4? Right? They seem to love that title, the
It
Modern Warfare
sells
name. I'm sure it does, right? I'm sure that
between Black
I
Ops
can
and
see a
Modern
world where
Warfare.
they stick with Black Ops and Modern
Keep
Warfare
going
just
back
back and
and
back.
forth again.
Yeah, just because
Yeah,
that's quite the name now, right? So
for sure.
would they do Modern Warfare 4? Do you think you're more of the Call of Duty guy?
If it is Infinity Ward, I don't see why they would do a new game again,
Yeah,
right? I think it would
reboot it
just be a
again.
Modern Warfare 4. No, they won't reboot. See, the thing is in terms of like pay, I don't know exactly what they're going to get done in Modern Warfare 3, but by the time you get to Modern Warfare 2, like they're just now touching characters that like we touched on in original Modern Warfare 1.
Okay.
So they're introducing things from like Modern Warfare 2 OG, but then like introducing characters from 1. So it's like they have a weird pace now with this reboot. So it's like it's not going to be a 3 and done. It might not be a 4 and done. So I don't know. I doubt it wouldn't be a reboot. So it'd be 4, I would assume, if anything.
Cool. Yeah. Any other hopes and dreams here? Any other things you want to see done with the whole Activision Blizzard thing going through now officially?
Yeah, I guess hopes and dreams would be try to get that Activision back catalog
Hmm.
stuff that's kind of in the ether. Like uh was it Syndicate, that first person shooter? I never got to
Yeah.
play that one. I want that to come back. Um any of those, I don't know if this would even be a possibility, but all those Activision Spider-Man games would be pretty cool. That I don't know if Disney would do the license and try to get them, on backwards compatible or whatever ported. That would be really interesting. Like Activision has been making games for so long. Like where's all that back catalog stuff?
Yeah.
Like I know that there's like old like PC stuff that they made, things like that. Like try to modernize them again, at least port them. That'd be cool. That's what I would want.
Yeah, my main want would be free up these studios that are stuck in the Call of Duty cycle, right? Free up the smaller ones at least. Toys for Bob, Raven, all these
Yes,
guys.
please.
Yeah,
Enox, right?
Beanox, free up these guys, let them create something new or whatever else they want. Put them on Crash and Spyro, Tony Hawk. Let's get
Bring
those
Tony Hawk back, yeah.
let's get those
Oh, speaking
franchises
of,
growing.
they're not Blizzard Albany anymore. We're axing that name. We're bringing Vicarious Visions back.
God, I would love that.
Please, Phil, your first thing needs to be is rename that studio again.
Yeah.
Let them have their name back, and then put them on, um, uh, What they do? No, Crash 4 was Toys for Bob.
Well, they
Put
did
them on
the
Tony Hawk, right?
yeah, they did the Crash remake, the Insane Trilogy, and
That's
then
right.
they did Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2, and they had plans for 3+4.
Get them
So
doing that.
yeah, I would love them to go back and do
Or
3+4.
how about this idea? I know that it would be 6, right? That'd probably be the newest one. I don't know if they would call it 6 though. It's been so long. What if they just go like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and it's
Yeah,
like, boom, brand new. We're starting
brand
it
new
over
one.
right here.
Yeah,
Brand new Tony Hawk Pro Skater
I'd love that too.
with like the
Anything.
mechanics of 1 and 2. The remake, which I still need to like dive into more. Yeah, they should bring Tony Hawk back. Make that more of like a every other year type of game,
Yeah.
right? Maybe not every year.
Yeah,
Too
maybe
much.
that's a bit too
Or
much.
maybe
But
every 3 years. Maybe every 3 years or something.
I don't even care. Just make
Have
it.
it more regularly come
You
back.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely that. And same with Crash and Spyro. You know, I think
We need Crash and Spiral regularly.
yeah, I think Crash and Spyro really look good too on Game Pass. Those will be really
For
good things to
sure.
bring kids in.
They want those
and
kids games.
stuff like
Yep.
that. Yeah, family games in. I think you know you got Xbox now has really great IPs to make some great family
Oh yeah.
games with Banjo, Crash, and Spyro. I say
They,
bring all
they have
three
a
of them
kart
back.
racer
Yeah, yeah,
for
kart
kids, like a
racer,
kids kart
Crash.
racer. You could
Yeah,
make it an Xbox, like make it more Xbox focused, not just Crash. I don't know if you'd want to change the name, but like you could throw in Spyro and Banjo and Chief or Marcus. You know, even do little cartoon versions of them and like have them racing.
that'd be
You know,
incredible.
all that kind of stuff. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome. You
If they
know,
wanted to do like
Chai.
get Beanox on a
Yeah.
Xbox centric kart racer, that'd be awesome.
And then maybe do some try to take a little bit of Nintendo's, thunder, like make a fighting game, like an arcadey fighting game with all these characters.
There's rumors Killer Instinct's coming back.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Is the rumor Iron Galaxy coming back to do it?
I don't know.
That's who did the original.
Did they?
Well, yeah, I think so. I think what happened with Killer Instinct was Iron Galaxy made it. They did like season 1 and then someone else picked it up after that.
Okay, gotcha.
But they did make the game.
Oh, you're talking about the
Um,
Xbox version, the Xbox
Mhm.
One version. Okay, gotcha.
yeah. Yeah, maybe they'll come back and do that. But yeah, Killer Instinct's a great fighting game.
Yeah, I think. I mean, if you're Xbox, you want as many genres as possible on Game Pass, just to get as many people
sure.
as possible in, right? I mean, like you already
Yeah.
got your racing game covered with, at least your hardcore racing game covered with Forza.
I mean, you got
Do a
two
kart
different
racer,
types.
do a Smash like, do fighting games, do stuff like that, right?
They got Horizon, right, as well.
Yeah,
So yeah, they got a lot of different racing games. Yeah, Western RPGs. I mean, now technically they're again the first-person shooter box,
100%. Yeah,
right? Like the only one they're really missing is Bungie, but like they're still getting Bungie stuff.
yeah, Battlefield,
So
but yeah, stuff like that.
well, it's still on the console.
Yeah, sure.
So like, really, if you couldn't, there's not a big first-person shooter you can't play. I
Yeah.
don't think.
Yeah, no, great point.
So
So,
yeah, they got Doom.
that'd be
and
my
all
main
that.
thing. Free up the studios, let them
Crypto Studios, yeah.
make new things.
I think didn't I see something Phil saying that like he'll if he want to go make something old IP that he will? Didn't
Yeah.
he say that?
They'll let them dive
Recently?
into that. Yeah, why
Yeah.
not? I mean, you
Which
need
is-
as many games as possible, right? To feed this Game Pass machine. So yeah, if you want to go make something, hell yeah, go make something.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna need more than just Call of Duty. So with that, I wonder if they'll hire up more on the traditional Call of Duty studios like Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer. I wonder if we get even more people in those studios just to pick up the slack of these other
Oh,
studios,
get rid of
maybe
them?
maybe
Yeah.
dispersing a little, you know?
That's an interesting point.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already to be fair to like those three big teams, like those are huge teams.
Yeah, they are
Treyarch,
huge already.
Infinity
Yeah.
Ward, and Sledgehammer. Those are huge
And it's just
teams.
crazy to think that they need just so many more studios
know.
on top of that just
It's
to keep this
insane.
machine
That shows you
going.
development, right?
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
crazy.
Well, especially with COD, right? I mean,
Yeah.
these yearly releases, you need it.
People underestimate like how much of a feat it is and how like high it's not like it's a sports game, right?
Yeah.
Like these sports games people kind of complain about because there are usually technical messes, they're just roster updates, right? They barely put new features in. And then you look at like Call of Duty. It's like people like to criticize Activision, criticize Call of Duty, but that is a machine and it's a perfect machine.
Yeah.
Maybe they're really riding off the backs of really low paid employees, but I don't know, they do a lot of good work at least.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think too, there's probably already people working on Call of Duty 2026. There's probably people already hard at work on
Yeah,
that.
pre-production,
Right?
yeah.
They're probably already going away on that. And then while you still have people working on Call of Duty 2025, and then of course people polishing up Call of Duty 2034. So it's just crazy.
What throws a wrench in is the introduction of Warzone and like having
Yeah,
a live game all the time. So you
yeah.
have to have some developers feeding that game with content.
Which that makes me think they won't free up Raven, because I'd imagine Raven at this point, Raven has been doing that for so long. I'd imagine the people that are working there on that want to work on that. You know?
Yeah, Raven's been used like a weird tool for Call of Duty because
Yeah.
for the longest time they were just making maps.
Hmm.
They were making really good maps, but they were making maps. Then with Black Ops Cold War, they did the story mode.
Yeah.
Like Treyarch did the main development, but they like did the story. Um, and then I think that yeah, they started taking over Warzone stuff. So that kind of been just used as like a tool for anything that kind of needs done in COD. And you're kind of right. Maybe that's the 4 teams that really stick there:
Yeah.
Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Raven. But the rest, I don't know. Maybe Shanghai stays as well.
Yeah, because it's
Um,
been probably well over a decade since Ravens actually made anything other than Call of Duty.
yeah,
So I gotta imagine at this point the people that made old Raven games aren't even there anymore. So you probably
probably.
just keep Raven on that. Yeah. But it's gonna be a while before any of these decisions actually come through. I mean, the Game
Hmm.
Pass stuff will come in the short term, but in the long term, I mean, look how long it's really taken for Bethesda to really get going and start feeling like it's actually part of Xbox, right? It really just happened this year, so it'll be a few years before Activision Blizzard really feels like Xbox. I think.
For sure. One last question.
Yeah.
Connor. You're going to predict the future for me,
Ooh.
so I don't know the answer. What is their showcase next year called?
The Xbox Bethesda Activision Blizzard King Showcase.
Let's go. Let's go. It's a
That's
whole
too much. That's too much.
mouthful.
I do hope at some point we just stop and call
Xbox.
everything Xbox.
Yes.
Like even the
It should just be
Bethesda.
now.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would like it if it was just now. Just call it. Get rid of Bethesda Softworks. Of course, you keep Bethesda
I
Game
honestly didn't like that they
Studios.
did that.
Yeah, I don't either. I think you just call everything Xbox and put the splash screen of Xbox on all those things. I would get that done as soon as possible.
If anything, they need to take a card from Sony, right? Or
Yeah,
PlayStation.
100%.
Everything is just PlayStation. They throw that logo everywhere. Like,
If I'm Xbox, I tried this year's Call of Duty and try to get that
put
Xbox
your
splash
logo
screen on
everywhere.
there. Yeah, because
Yes, with
like
Modern Warfare
you
3,
you
because
want
it's
those
done,
kids
deal
on
done.
PlayStation to be booting up Modern Warfare 3
First
and
thing you
see
see.
Xbox Game Studios. That's exactly what you want.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. The deal's done. That game's not even out yet. First thing you see, Xbox everywhere.
Speaking of
Yeah.
the showcase, I wonder if we can now expect every Call of Duty to be revealed at the Xbox showcase every year.
Call
Like
of Duty
that's
is too big, but it could be.
Yeah, I mean
If you
that's a
remember
great
back in
way
the
to get
360,
eyeballs
it
on
was
you, right? Like, hey, new Call of Duty getting revealed here today at the Xbox
for
showcase.
sure.
Yeah, I think it always gets revealed right around then, anyways, right? So why
It's
not?
usually ish. It used to be really strictly the NBA Finals. I know because I'm a basketball fan. NBA Finals is a big deal
Yeah,
because like that was that first trailer usually NBA Finals, um, which is usually in the late June ish. But they started like especially this year, it was really late before they revealed it. Um, I'm with you though. 360 era was always at the Xbox their showcase.
yeah.
You always like I remember that big Modern Warfare 2, the original Modern Warfare 2, that big like snow level they did.
Oh,
There
the
was like a whole
sniper mission
gameplay.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah, that they did that whole reveal. Yeah, it was awesome. So yeah, I mean I think you nailed it. They if they want more eyes on the Xbox
yeah. I
event,
just
yeah.
think, hey, gameplay reveal this year's Call of Duty at
New
Xbox
Black Ops.
Showcase.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you get tons of eyeballs on your showcase to be able to market other things as well, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, cool. Moving on then. That is the last time we will talk about that deal.
Now they're
We're
just
done.
Xbox
We're
and we'll
done.
talk about
We're
it just
fucking
like that.
done. All right. Sticking with Xbox, now former VP of publishing at Bethesda Softworks, Pete Hines has decided to retire, thus ending his 24-year-long career at the company. Daniel, this was surprising.
I know this was I guess bittersweet, right? Because I know that he's been doing it for a long time. He's been in the industry for a long time. He's a big deal. He's a big name in the industry. He's pushed out a lot of games under his career, a lot of like excellent games. You know, he's a big family man, right? Like he probably just feels like it's his time. You know, I don't see this being like he's saying retirement from Bethesda. I don't think he's gonna like go work somewhere else. He seemed like a lifer
Yeah,
for Bethesda, and yeah, if he feels like he can retire, like awesome, right? Get out while you're young and youngish, right? Like he still has a lot of years left ahead of him, and enjoy your retirement.
yeah, take that bag, right? I mean,
Yeah,
Starfield just launched. I'm sure he got a
he probably had
huge amount of money off of that, right?
he
I
probably
gotta
had
imagine.
shares in
Yeah,
Bethesda. That's how old he was there,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. He probably got a lot of money through the deal just from
Hmm.
Xbox buying Bethesda too. Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's not like he's an awesome guy, great marketer, right? I mean, he
yeah,
does the
he's one of
videos
the
he would
best.
make, yeah, are
One of the best.
hilarious.
I
Yeah,
love the Wolfenstein 2 one.
yeah.
That
It was
was so
great. That
good,
was great. Yeah, yeah.
so
So
good.
he was incredibly good at his job. But it's not like he's a creative or anything, right? I don't
No, of course.
imagine a lot of people
Yeah.
trying to go and gobble him up and get him at other studios and stuff like that. Just
I mean,
because,
people would, but they would do it for his marketing, right?
sure, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think this is like a legit retirement. I don't think this is one of those where he's getting pushed out or anything like that, or there's any like
Oh
bad
no.
will or anything. Yeah. So I do think it's a legit retirement. I think he just
Especially with his statement,
saw a
right?
window, saw a good time to leave,
Yeah.
and took it. Good for him, man. 23 years at a company, that's a long fucking time, you know.
It's just one company.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine, you
Yeah.
know. And so yeah, good for him. He's an awesome guy. I always seen him with kind of funny content. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Very
missed.
grounded guy. Love some Pete Hines.
Yeah,
You're
definitely,
gonna be missed.
definitely. Moving on, then. Let's go. We'll go to the Best Buy story. Let me pull
Okay.
up. This tweet comes from Shinobi. Best Buy confirms it will phase out sales of DVDs and Blu-ray discs, both in store and online, in early 2024. The company will continue to sell retail video games, though.
Yeah.
Daniel, some
Um,
interesting news here.
and then also like a little after that, we saw Walmart is doing the same thing.
Yeah,
Um, like I would Domino's are gonna start falling. I would see probably Target and any other store like that, Kmart. I think they're all gonna slowly get to that point. Like I don't really know who's going in there and buying DVDs and Blu-rays as much anymore. If anything, people probably do it online, right? Like Amazon. But
yeah. I think just certain people want that quality, right? Is
yeah,
because you do get a really high quality with Blu-ray and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's I mean most like TV shows and I mean movies have always been this way, but most TV shows, dude, it takes forever for the collections of Blu-rays and DVDs to
yeah,
actually come out,
and
right?
it's so many discs usually because
Yeah.
it's we can't fit it all
Oh
in
yeah,
one.
you ever see like the Breaking Bad one or something like that? The Game of
No, is
Thrones
it
one, it's just
crazy?
huge, you know? It's just like Jesus. What do we got going on here?
Yeah, I think this is a very fascinating story here. I think that like, how long do you think it's gonna take to get to not doing games by
Not
the end of
long.
next year?
Not long. Yeah.
2025?
Yeah. I don't I think physical game sales are just going down, 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 and COVID only sped that up more, right?
COVID destroyed it.
Yeah, it really did. And I think, I mean, we just see the direction they're going. PlayStation's now selling a digital only version of their console, right? With the new Slim. We know Xbox has
Xbox has
plans.
one,
Yeah, they already had
technically.
the S, right? And
Yeah.
then they have plans for their next gen console to not have a disc drive either. So yeah, it's going away, and it's going away pretty quick here. And I think it's a lot quicker than a lot of people that are very attached to physical media still imagined. But just the way of the world, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big wake up call for a lot of like more normal. I don't know if normal is the right way, but like more average gamers, right? Like I know some average gamers and stuff like that that are like they're into games a lot, but they're not looking at the news like we are,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of them, for the most part, they get some digital games, but they still do physical because it's easy to resell. And even if they don't get a lot, but that still could go to the next game. Like if they can't even really do that, I don't know. They're gonna play less, probably. I would guess.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like
I
people are
think
struggling out there, you
a
know?
lot of people I think a lot of people just grew up buying games, right? And buying the
Going in the store,
physical game
yeah.
and going to the store and buying the copy of the game. And I think a lot of people our age and stuff like that still do that. Like more casual gamers, like you were saying, still just do that. That's just still how they buy their games. They don't really look at the digital storefronts and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily such a big shift for them. I think they'll just be like, oh, the casual gamer that just buys Call of Duty and Madden, right? I think he'll just be like, oh, okay, I'll just buy it on the PlayStation Store, or I'll just buy it on the Xbox Store now, right? But I think the people that are collectors and stuff like that, those are the people that are gonna have a really hard time and really be pissed off here.
Yeah, definitely. Especially like, oh yeah, the collectors is a good point. I didn't really think about like collectors and like
Yeah,
older games because like, what if you look at like, I don't know, I'll just name what's a game coming up? Spider-Man 2. Like, what if hypothetically Spider-Man 2 didn't have physicals, right?
yeah,
And then it's like in 20 years, it's like, oh, I can't even get a physical copy of this game. You
yeah.
know, like what happens? What if something happens to like some servers in PlayStation's thing and they lose some like, I don't know, lose the game. I don't know. I know
Sure. Yeah.
that's hard to think about, but like they lose the game and it's like Spider-Man 2, we can't even play this game.
Right.
Like that was a big game for the time. Like that's yeah, a lot of that stuff's very funky and weird.
Well, companies are already doing it too. Alan Wake 2, there is no physical version of Alan Wake 2. You
Very
have to
good
buy that
point.
on
That's a better
digital.
point.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that
you're
comes out
right.
next week, and
That's a perfect point.
that game you have to buy digitally only. So, I'd imagine there'll be things we'll start seeing more limited run type of things pop up. I think after a while with like
So do you think
I think it'll become
Remedy's gonna do that?
like we were just talking about with Blu-rays, how they take forever to come to physical media, and it's just you're waiting for years maybe before it actually comes out, and you can go buy a physical copy of it. I think you could end up seeing that with games pretty quickly too.
You think Alan Wake 2 is gonna do that?
Maybe like eventually,
Because they haven't said much
I
about
wouldn't be
it, but
surprised if one a Halloween a year or two from now, they're like, "Hey, we're doing a
wow,
limited
that
run of
long.
physical versions of Alan Wake
Wow.
2." Like I would not be surprised, like a collector's
I was thinking
edition
like
stuff like
next year.
that. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it could just be that, but like I think we'll start seeing that more and more, and it'll be slower and slower before it actually comes to physical.
Interesting, man. What a wild time we're gonna start living
Yeah.
for games.
And that's another thing with cloud streaming on the cusp of getting really big, right? It's people start thinking about physical media less and less, which means they'll sell less and less, which means that these companies are gonna back out quicker and quicker of selling physical media.
Yeah, it takes a lot to make these physical things. Also, you have to ship them,
Yeah.
right? That's expensive. Like whether that's through boat or trucks, planes to fly. I guess they do more boats than planes, but stuff like that. Like shipping's expensive, right? Those containers are expensive. That takes room, takes a lot of manpower to do that, and yeah,
The one thing I
digital
do feel on is
easy
physical media is in the game side, it is much cheaper to go physically than it is digitally because you can find deals on physical
for
at
sure.
different retailers for super cheap. I think I just saw one that has like I think it was Baldur's Gate 3 is like 40 somewhere already.
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
but like
it's
it's
only like a
only a
month.
physical version, right? Yeah, and that hasn't even been that long. So I do feel for people that play physical only and they kind of
It's a very good
don't
point.
keep up with newer games, right? I think a lot of those people are going to be feeling it.
Yeah, very very good point. I wonder if that maybe forces the hand of a lot of the digital storefronts now to like do more deals because I think
Yeah.
Steam is just the best, right?
Yeah.
Steam's deals are everywhere all the time, but like I know that like I think Switch does some decent deals. Maybe not first party, but like other things, I think they do decent deals. I think Xbox and PlayStation are similar. Maybe not with first party as much, but I know Xbox and PlayStation they do like if you have their service, they'll do a cut, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. On PS
Right. If
Plus
you have
and
Game
Game
Pass,
Pass, yeah,
yeah,
you get a certain
the
percentage off and stuff like that.
yeah,
And they do always
um,
have sales on those digital storefronts. Like you always see like summer game sale on PlayStation or Xbox or something like
yeah,
that with like just a huge list of games that you could get for pretty cheap. But it's still usually not as cheap as physical.
yeah. The only storefront that I always hear about that is a little funky sometimes is apparently the PlayStation Store, where like you can't like go and purchase like actual other what's the right word? Like you can't go and get a game digitally somewhere else, right? Like a code.
Oh, really?
Where
So
you
like you
can
can't
on
buy the code
Xbox. You
on
cannot go get a code. Like
Amazon or whatever?
I think Switch and Xbox you can. Of course you can on PC, but like you can go and put any code on Steam. You can get from anywhere.
Sure.
But PlayStation, like I think you can only get like the PlayStation cards,
Oh,
and then you
interesting.
put it on that way, right? So
Yeah.
like their storefront's very enclosed.
Yeah.
So I wonder if when we start getting into the only digital storefronts, like we're probably going to see more. I don't know if regulation is the right word, but a lot more policy changes because they're going to get a lot more scrutinized, right?
Yeah.
Like
Because
people are going to,
that's how the retailers would have to transition, right? Is you just buy a
yeah,
card with a code and then put it in your console, right? Like
yeah.
Best Buy or whatever. I'd imagine GameStop would just go under, if I'm being honest. At this point,
They've at least they've kept afloat by like switching their model a bit.
yeah.
You
I mean,
know,
they
like they sell
almost
more
did in
toys and
2020.
stuff.
It seemed like, and I mean,
Yeah,
my GameStop closed already, right? And I think they're
I
closing
went
left
and
and right.
I went a few days ago and pre-ordered Mario.
Yeah.
And my GameStop's still open,
Yeah. Okay, that's
so
good.
it's the only one. I think we have like two in town, maybe
Okay.
three. We
Yeah,
have a
there's one
few.
like still 15 minutes for me, but the one right next to me
Okay,
closed. But so that's probably why they're probably just closing down certain ones that have one in the vicinity or whatever, right?
yeah,
But yeah, I could definitely see GameStop going away pretty quick, and that the video game section in Target, in Best Buy, in Walmart just getting smaller.
yeah. Do you think that they retaliate in any way with? I mean,
There's not
so
much they can do, right?
well, here's what I was going to say. Do you think that they would retaliate in selling the boxes? Do you
Mm.
think like Best Buy would be like, "Oh, PlayStation, you don't want to sell physical games here anymore or whatever. We're not going to sell your PlayStations here."
Maybe
You know what I mean? Do you
I
think that they would be
I
ballsy enough to do
I
that?
would be hesitant to say yes just because that's still money for them, right?
Yeah.
And like, are they really gonna be like, oh no? I
Oh,
doubt it.
yeah. I think these companies have like they're holding they're like clamping down the balls of
Yeah,
these storefronts, right? It's like, "Oh, well, I mean, you could not sell our PS5s that are selling out all the time,
right.
right? It's a one of the biggest electronic devices you can get, right? All
Yeah.
pretty much all the game consoles. So you're just not going to want to sell
Yeah,
that.
are you
And
really gonna hold a grudge for that?
yeah,
Especially with this, it's like they know this is coming. They have
they have
people
to see the
there.
writing is on the wall.
Yeah, it's like they got smarter people than you and me working there. They know. Like if we
I
know,
don't know.
they
I think
know.
we're smarter than
The
them.
Walmart,
Yeah,
yeah. Why haven't we made $1 trillion company then?
very good point.
But yeah, I don't see them holding a grudge like that. They see the writing on the wall too. They know
Yeah.
that's coming. So yeah, but maybe that'd be very interesting, right? Like, hey, we're no longer selling PlayStation shit from Walmart. Fuck you.
Yeah.
That'd be
I was
hilarious.
just curious if you think that they could be bitter like that.
Yeah, I would doubt it, but that'd be a very funny move. All right, let's move on then, Daniel. We got our video game Circana numbers for the month of September.
You
Danielle,
didn't say it right.
Circana, isn't it?
Yeah. No, no, no.
Huh. Was it Connor
What
Circana
what is the
Corner?
name? Yeah, what's the name of this
The segment?
monthly segment? Yeah.
Connor Circana Corner. Welcome
There you go.
everybody. Daniel, hit the song.
Do 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 do. That's Mario for you.
All right. Well, now I acquired the Mario theme song.
Oh.
Thanks, Nintendo. Daniel, we will go through 1 through 20
I'm
of the month
excited.
of September. You should be. It's a great list.
Yeah. This will be
A lot of fun stuff to
a
talk
good
about.
month, yeah.
Number 20, Diablo 4. Number 19, Sea of Thieves. Popping up there.
Oh, it must have
Number
been a deal.
34 the month before. So what's going on with Sea of Thieves? Popping off recently,
Did they
huh?
do so I don't want to like go too much of a tangent. I think this month in September was the month that they introduced that like single player option.
Oh, really? Okay.
Do you remember hearing about that where they were like
I remember the Monkey Island thing. I don't remember this
there
single
is
player
that.
option.
I think that was earlier this year.
Was
But I
it? Okay.
think September they did the single player option where you can like go offline and like play by yourself and
Yeah.
not have like people invading your ship and stuff. So I think there might have been like a sale and that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves, very quietly, Microsoft's best live service game, I think.
It has been
Yeah.
for years too.
Yeah.
It's not like it came out.
I
It's
guess I mean
like,
best selling, not like quality. But,
oh yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
about quality, but it probably is too. But
I mean that and Minecraft. I mean it's Minecraft.
oh yeah, you're right. You're definitely right with
Yeah.
Minecraft. Yeah,
I mean we've talked about like Xbox like secretly has a lot of good live service
they got a
games.
shit ton. And
Yeah.
now with Activision Blizzard, like they bought right into that, and that was
Yeah.
very smart of them. Number 18, Elden Ring. Number 17, Gran
Let's
Turismo
go.
7. Yeah, it was 14 the month before. Elden Ring's still gone.
Still in the top 20 though. That's what matters.
Where were we? 17, Gran Turismo 7, 16, Rainbow Six Siege popping up there again. It was number
I think
20
that had
the
a
month
big
before.
Steam sale.
Did
I
it?
think.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, Siege getting popular again all of a sudden.
yeah. The
Number
game's always been huge.
number 15, Mario Kart 8. Number 14,
Okay,
Minecraft.
stop
Just
buying Minecraft as well.
it
Minecraft passed
doesn't
like
stop.
300 million units or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
recently.
yeah, yeah. It did.
Insane, insane.
Crazy, man. Number 13, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. No,
Oh, that's good.
number 12, Resident Evil 4. Number 11, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Number 10, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Number 9, Hogwarts Legacy.
Okay, still top 10.
Number 8, Armor Core 6, Fires of
Okay,
Rubicon, which also passed 3 million copies sold.
let's
And
go.
we'll
Good for
get
them.
we'll get into the yearly one, but they popped up yearly again too, which isn't typical for a game like that to keep going up on the yearly
Yeah, it's
chart.
a super hardcore game there.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll talk about that again in a minute. And then where were we? Number 7, The Crew Motorfest, which is a new game.
Okay, and
I
that's
didn't even realize that came
Ubisoft.
out.
Like, yeah, I think it quietly came out, but it clearly sold well. Like
Yeah, people
Ubisoft
like The
knows what they
Crew, huh?
got. Yeah, people know that Ubisoft knows that people like the crew for sure.
Yeah. Ubisoft on here twice with that and Siege, so good for them.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Number 6, another new one, NBA 2K24.
Okay.
There you go. Number
It's
5,
gonna keep
Payday
selling.
3
Basketball season's about to start. That game's gonna be top of like next month,
gets
October.
updated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 5, Payday 3, another new one.
Whoa, really? Top
Yeah.
five?
Yeah.
I didn't
You,
even think
you,
about
you
that
figure
game.
with that rocky launch that game had too, it wouldn't have been
Yeah,
that well, but yeah, top 5. People do really like that IP though, so
Payday 2 was huge.
yeah, that game got really popular over time. So yeah, not too surprising. But number 4, where is it? Number 4, Madden NFL 24. Number 1 the month before. Number 3, EA Sports FC 24. Here you go, EA
Okay.
Sports FC, not FIFA anymore. I
Hmm.
wonder if that made it take a little bit of a hit,
It had to of just a little bit.
just a
Like, there's
little
no way
bit.
it
Yeah,
wasn't just a little bit. But
yeah,
I think I, as much as like the general consumer like isn't too into the weeds of a lot of this stuff, I still generally think maybe the average consumer is smarter than we think they are, right?
yeah. They definitely are just a little bit, but not too much.
Yeah, I'm not giving them too much credit.
Yeah. But it is we'll get into the yearly a little bit. It is number 14 for the year. So I wonder if
Already.
it's typically higher than that.
Yeah, but it's still got a few more months. I think
Sure.
Black Friday is gonna do a lot for that game.
Bump that up a lot more. Yeah, we'll have to
Yeah,
keep an eye on that for next month. Number 2, Mortal Kombat 1.
let's go.
Daniel, Mortal Kombat sells, man.
What? It
I'm surprised by this
People
every time.
underestimate how much Mortal
I
Kombat
do.
sells.
I fucking
Yeah,
do. Yeah.
it's the biggest selling fighting game.
Well,
Period.
because it is the number 8 for the year already.
Let's go,
Crazy,
dude. Let's
crazy. Mortal
go.
Kombat just sells. And to
Let's
put that in perspective, Street Fighter 6, the other big fighting game of the
a
year, is
million.
number 13 of the year already.
I think it
So
was like 2 or 3 million, right?
it already outsold Street Fighter 6. Pretty nuts. It's pretty
And
nuts.
Street
Mortal
Fighter's
Kombat.
like, maybe more critically, accepted, right?
Yeah,
Like,
at least this version, right?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. At least this one.
And then your number 1 for the month of September, Starfield, baby. Already the number
Wow.
7 best-selling game of the year. This is on Game Pass as well.
And this
So
is on PC Game Pass and Game Pass.
yeah, so
People were
crazy
buying this.
numbers. Yeah, a lot of people bought this game. That's a very interesting thing to look into. Is a lot of people ended up buying this game. It seems right. I would love to get Game Pass numbers now from Xbox.
Me too. I was
Yeah,
just gonna say that.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
let's get an update Game Pass number. I want to know how big of a bump did Starfield give the Game Pass. You know?
Yeah, in terms of subscriber numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Very curious. And I don't want to like poo-poo the party. How many did okay. With those sales, does that include the people that got that upgrade? That had to buy that upgrade for Game
That's a
Pass?
good point. Yeah, because I did buy that, so
Yes,
I
like
wonder if
you're a
that.
case of that. Sloan's a case of
Sure.
that too. I did not.
Yeah,
I did
just
not
to
get
get
that.
that
But does
early
that count
access.
as a copy?
Yeah, I wonder because that was more of like a season pass thing to me with
Okay,
because
maybe it doesn't then.
it came with an expansion pass and then it came with the perk of getting it 7 days early and stuff like that. So I wonder. I don't know. It seems like you shouldn't count that, but maybe they could have.
It does seem like you shouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't
They
know.
didn't clarify, so yeah, I'm curious.
But way to go. I mean, shit, man. Number
Let's
1 and
go,
you're on
dude.
Game Pass. You got to be making
People
bank
underestimate
there.
Bethesda. We keep saying it.
Yeah, man, it's they are a huge company
Their
and
name means something.
their name sells, right? Those games sell. People know them. People know Fallout and they know Elder Scrolls, and they obviously heard that Starfield was being made by those same guys, and yeah, it clearly shows. Number 7 for the year, and it being on Game Pass is just really remarkable
So
feat
this would be
there.
a top 5 seller for the year, I assume.
Does it get up there? I don't know because it's we're entering into the most
So what?
competitive of
Call of
months
Duty,
now.
yeah, Call of Duty,
So what's top
Spider-Man,
5 right
Starfield,
now
Hogwarts,
is top 5 right now is Hogwarts, Tears of the Kingdom,
Tears,
Madden, Diablo, Modern Warfare
Diablo.
2.
That's true.
Yeah,
Modern Warfare 2 still selling, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I actually forgot about how well Zelda sold.
I'd imagine it stays in the top 10. I don't know if it
Top 10 for
cracks in the
sure,
top
yeah.
5.
Yeah, because we're gonna get Spider-Man and Call of Duty
Yeah,
that are both gonna be in the top 10
yeah.
for the year. I don't know if anything else by the end of the year. Maybe Mario. I don't know. Mario would be an interesting one to see. Is that going to
Yeah,
crack that
Mario's an
high?
interesting one, Mario Wonder, because
It's a Switch game, so it might.
yeah, I'd imagine over time Mario Wonder sells more than like Spider-Man, for example, you know.
I mean, you
Maybe
would.
they might be right
On,
around the same. Like
in my head, I think Mario should sell better than Zelda. I would
yeah,
think.
a 2D Mario, right? And these
Yeah,
are the thing about the 2D Marios is that those are very family games. Like I know
they sell.
we
Don't they
call
usually
every
sell?
Nintendo game family games, but
They're super family. Yeah.
these are super family with that co-op angle. I think a lot
hmm
of people pick those up for Christmas. Like look at that U Deluxe version, right? That's like
hmm
probably almost like 20 million copies sold just on the
3D
Switch.
World.
Yeah, and that's because there's so many parents pick it up to play it with their kids, right?
Does 2D Mario sell better than 3D Mario?
It typically has in the
So
past.
yeah. So
So
why would a Switch 2D, brand new Switch 2D,
yeah,
that should do
like I
gangbusters?
don't see Mario Wonder coming out the gate, and I think it'll be in the top 10 for the year, but I don't see it coming out of the gate and being number 1. But I think over time, I could see that game selling like 25 million copies lifetime.
So I'm gonna ask you this then. So with Zelda, it was like the weekend it sold like 10 million or whatever that
I
was.
think it was like
It was like
12
three
million
days.
after 3 days. Yeah.
Do you think we're gonna get Nintendo saying Wonder did 10 million in 3 days in the weekend
I don't think so. I don't think it's
or in a
that
week?
type of thing
You
where
don't think so?
people run out to buy that. But I think by January we'll get an update, you know, after Christmas and stuff like that.
The full years.
And it'll be like in the 13-ish million copies sold by then, maybe.
So is this in the top 10 too?
I think so. I think it'll land in the top 10.
Okay.
Maybe not super high into the top 10, but I think it'll land in the top 10 by the end of the year. Yeah.
So what do I have to do? I know I haven't played it yet. What do I have to do to get this into the Nerdic Gods top 10?
Well, Tim Geddes did sell me on the game yesterday. It
Uh
sounded
oh.
very
So it's
interesting.
not gonna be just me. Uh-oh.
I might play it. He said it's very much a 3D Mario inside a 2D Mario, and I was like, oh, that's very interesting.
Oh,
And then
I
he's
don't know what
like,
that means, but okay.
he said there's a lot of like environmental puzzle things going on too, a couple of those, and
Have to
like
do with the Wonder mechanic?
yeah, something like that. And like I was always interested in that wonder mechanic because just
Yeah.
like the trippy stuff I want to see, like that'll
Yeah.
be fun. And then if it's not so focused on 2D platforming, that sounds fun to me. But we'll see. I don't know. If let me get past Spider-Man and Alan Wake, then I'll pick it up.
Well, we broke you on uh uh turn-based
Turn
games.
based, yeah,
We're
shit.
gonna
Maybe
break you on
2D
2D platformers
platformers are
next.
next. Yeah, fuck it. Let's go. All right, and then let's anything else interesting in the top of the year? Let's see. Um, Mortal Kombat 8 jumped up to 20 for the year. Dead Space 19, Remnant 2's in there. Yeah, nothing else too interesting. So next month we'll definitely have Modern Warfare 3 and Spider-Man in here. Wonder should be somewhere in here as well.
Yeah, I
Couple
mean,
things to
Alan
keep an
Wake
eye
is
on.
gonna struggle because it's coming out in the last few days.
Yeah, I don't see that
And like,
cracking
yeah, I'm
and
curious how well that
being
sells.
a huge seller, but I think it'll
It's gonna be
sell
a couple
enough
mil.
for Remedy. I think it might be Remedy's
Yeah.
highest selling game, but
No, there's no way.
you don't think it
I don't
outsells
see this game.
Control?
Yeah, I don't think this will outsell Control.
Really?
Yeah,
I think it's a bigger IP than Control.
I think that the horror angle is gonna
Mm,
make it sell less
good point. Control
because
have horror
Control was not
elements.
marketed as horror.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point.
It's marketed as like a third person shooter with powers,
Yeah, I
right?
wonder what were Control's lifetime sales.
Uh, if you remember the history of Control, because we actually weren't doing the show at the time. This was right before we started doing the show. Control didn't sell well its first couple months. It didn't chart very well, but then it kept selling and kept selling over time. I think it was at like 10
November
million.
2022, it was a little over 3 million.
Oh, I thought it did way more than that. Okay.
Yeah.
So is that not their best-selling game then? Am I
March
wrong?
2021, Remedy's Control has officially sold 3 million copies.
Okay, so that's still 2 years
Or no,
ago.
March 21st, 2023, excuse me.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
So,
Yeah, I'd be curious if that is their best-selling game then.
what
I
would
thought
the
it was
other one
much
be?
higher.
Alan Wake then, right?
I
I mean,
don't
it's not
know.
like
I
the
mean,
old Max Payne games.
they could have, but I
Alan Wake
doubt it.
sold 4.5 million copies
Yeah, the
by
first one.
2019. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm going to imagine Alan Wake 2 ends up being their best selling. You
Maybe.
know what
I
might
wonder if
block
that
it is
horror
that
ended though.
digital storefront thing.
It
Only
could.
being on
Yeah.
digital, not a lot of people walking past that and buying it, but I don't know. It depends how they market
Yeah.
it. They're doing a decent job marketing it thus far, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Be an interesting one to keep an eye on. I don't think that cracks the top 20 though. If I had to
It's
guess.
just only in a few days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially at the time for it releasing, right? A couple days before COD and Mario Wonder,
Yeah, Call of
Spider
Duty's right
Man.
there.
Spider Man's right before it, so
Yeah.
yeah, don't see that. And yeah, all right. That'll do it. Oh, last time I get to ask this, do we think Hogwarts remains high selling game of the year?
There I can't deny Call of Duty.
Yeah,
You can't. You can't.
yeah, it's
We
tough.
did. I said this
Tough.
last year that people are underestimating how big Modern Warfare 2 was going to be, and it was insane.
Yeah,
So,
I
there's
gotta
no way
imagine
that it's
no, because last year I thought Elden Ring was gonna keep it, and so
yeah.
this year I'm not gonna make the same mistake twice. And yeah, I gotta
Yeah.
imagine
I'll,
does
I'll
it.
say it'll be number 2,
Number
but
two. Yeah, I
Spider-Man's
think it's
gonna
a lock for two.
Spider-Man's probably gonna be in the top 5. Mario I could see being in the top 5.
Yeah,
Zelda might stay there.
I think
Not too
Zelda's a
sure
lock
though.
to stay there too.
Yeah.
I think top
Mar
five is. I think
Could be
Diablo
Madden.
might stay. Oh yeah, it might be Madden. I
Yeah,
think
Diablo
Diablo
will
might
probably fall a
stay. I
bit.
think Diablo might get a bump though from Christmas and stuff.
It could. Yeah, it's a huge
If I had
game.
to predict the top five, I think it's COD, Hogwarts, Zelda, Spider-Man, Diablo, in that order.
No Madden?
I think it'll be just under, just under.
Mm,
The
okay.
fifth could be Madden or Diablo.
Yeah, then maybe Mario, Starfield.
I'm trying to see, when does the Switch version of Hogwarts come out?
I saw something either yesterday or today that footage for the Switch version leaked. So probably soon,
Yeah,
I would assume.
because
And
if they could get that to release like right now, then maybe you could keep the top, right?
yeah. Well, we didn't really give credit to the game.
November
What if
14th,
see, soon.
very
Uh
soon.
it's right before Black Friday, right?
Yeah,
We didn't give enough credit to Hogwarts. Maybe Black Friday will do well for that game.
yeah, yeah, that
In the
too.
holiday season. It's a
And it
holiday
being on
vibe.
Switch, that's
And
another
being on Switch.
possible 128 million people, right? I mean, obviously it won't sell that much, but maybe we'll have to see. Apparently, it's running pretty well on Switch too, or
I mean, the
decently.
last gen
So
versions were like shockingly
yeah,
well. They had a lot of loading, but they were like how they did a lot of work on that, like good work.
yeah. They're gonna have to fend off COD with their fucking wands.
And then Ghost walks up and just pops him, shoots that little wizard.
Our last news story for the week, we are gonna do a review roundup for Mario Wonder and Spider-Man 2.
Got some
Big
good
boy
reviews
numbers.
here.
Some big boy
Big
numbers.
boy numbers
We
here.
will start with Marvel Spider-Man. Marvel Spider-Man is currently sitting at a 91 on Open Critic.
Hmm.
IGN give it an 8. Easy Allies give it a 9. Game Informer give it a 9.5. Daniel, I believe I saw this as Insomniac's highest rated game. Or I think
It
it might.
is.
It
They
is.
usually sit at that mid to high 80s.
Yeah.
At least recent memory, it is their highest. Yeah. I didn't expect 90. I was expecting, or 91. I was expecting 88 or so.
Yeah,
Which is
I would
kind
have
of where
said
PlayStation's
88
been
because
sitting.
they always
Yeah.
sit there, right? Yeah. There's
Yeah.
so many things. I think there's like 5 great games this year that are all just sitting at an 88.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like Hi-Fi Rush and like some other one.
Yeah,
There's like
yeah.
a
There's
bunch
a bunch
right
of stuff
there.
always at an 88.
Like
It's like
Diablo.
that's always just like a
Final
excellent
Fantasy
game
16.
medium spot. 88.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have like a good amount this year that are over 90. Baldur's
Yeah,
Gate, Spider-Man,
yeah. Baldur's Gate,
um,
Spider-Man, Street Fighter,
Street Fighter,
RE4 remake.
RE4. Is there any
One.
other
Well,
ones?
we'll talk about
Zelda.
Wonder in a second. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Wonder.
But yeah, good for them. I didn't think they'd crack into the 90s either.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah, very excited to play this game. Got it
Me too.
preloaded,
Oh
so
yeah,
I'm
I
ready to
have
fucking
it
go here.
preloaded too.
Let's go,
I mean, I'm
Spider-Man,
gonna be playing
baby.
Mario first, but I might just pop in. You
Pop
know,
in, yeah. Yeah, it's a
I
good
definitely
thing.
want to play
Play a
Mario
couple levels
first.
of Mario and pop into
Exactly.
Spider-Man. Be
Mario. See, that's the
good
thing about
time.
Mario. I can pace Mario.
All right.
I could just be doing level by level. Like Spider-Man's just something you can kind of like put a few hours into or something. Like Mario, I could pace it out with levels and stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited to try to pace myself a little with Spider-Man because I think both Spider-Man games before I've beaten like 3 days.
Yeah, all
You know,
weekend.
it's just tough games to put down because that traversal
Yeah,
is so fun and that combat's so
yeah.
fun and like obviously I want to see the story, so it's like it's a tough time to try to put down Spider-Man and pace myself. But there's a decent chance I have this game platinum by next week, so
I'm
we will
expecting
see.
it.
Yeah, yeah, I probably will.
Does that mean you're gonna do you? I know you were teasing it. Do you think you're gonna play Mario, or
Not now because Alan Wake 2 is next week.
you
That
so for
is,
sure gonna do that, and then maybe
yeah,
Mario
Alan Wake
later?
2 priority. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I'm eagerly anticipating that. So I kind of just want to get through Spider-Man, and that way I can be ready for Alan Wake 2, and then maybe after that I'll jump into Mario. Speaking of Mario, Super Mario Wonder currently sitting at a 92 on
Let's
OpenCritic.
go.
IGN
Take that, Spider-Man, up by
take
1 point.
that 1 point, 1 point. We got you, bitch.
Gotcha.
Wahoo, motherfucker.
Wow.
IGN gave it a 9. GameSpot gave it a 9. Let's see here. Game Informer. Game Informer. I can't find them. Eurogamer gave it a 5 out of 5. There you go. Super Mario Wonder. Knocking it out of the park. It's about where I expected for
Oh
Mario
yeah.
Wonder, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Nintendo hitting 290+ games this year.
So
Killing it.
when was their last 2D Mario? Was it the U one? The Wii U
Yeah,
one? Yeah.
there's not been a Switch one.
There hasn't been one
Technically,
in almost a decade.
yeah.
A new 2D
Technically,
Mario. Yeah.
they had Mario Makers with like Mario
Mm,
levels in them as
yeah, yeah.
well, but no one get out of here. Mario Maker.
I
There
bought
was a
Mario
Mario Maker
Maker.
for Switch.
I had a fun
Get
time
out
with
of here.
that for
That's
like a
not a
weekend.
2D Mario game. Get out. That's a creative thing. It's a cool game, but that's not a 2D.
Sure.
But yeah, they haven't had one since the Wii U,
Okay, cool. Yeah, and
which
that
I think was
one.
3D World was their last one.
Oh, okay. You're counting that one as a.
The one with the cat. I
Yeah.
think that was their last one.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's more 2D than it is like a 3D platformer,
Yeah,
even though it has like, same with like 3D Land. I
I did
consider
like
that
that
more of
game.
a 2D. Yeah. I still need that and the other one for the Wii U. I want to play and beat. I haven't beaten them. I own them though.
Maybe I'm a bigger 2D Mario fan than I think because I played both of those.
See? Oh yeah. This we're flipping you again. Now you're a 2D Mario fan.
But yeah, 92. That's exactly where I expected. I expected low 90s. Probably would have guessed that honestly. 92. So
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
good for them. Nintendo knocking it
So
out of the
excited to
park
play this
again.
game this weekend. Even if I only get to play a little bit this weekend, playing it.
So now that we have all the big players, I think, and they all seem to be doing well critically, what do you
Mhm.
think the Game of the Year nominees are?
So do I have to do 6 or can I just rewrite it like I want them to do 10?
I know you want them to do 10, but will they do 10?
I'm gonna call Keeley. I'm calling him.
I
You
just don't
better
know
do
if they
10,
will.
Keeley.
I think he's gonna stick to 6, but
He probably will.
yeah, I would like to do it. Just do
So if you're
6.
you're putting a gun to my head and I have to pick 6,
Yeah,
the exact 6 that they're doing.
yeah.
Okay. So we have to take actual critical success, or not critical, like critical, like yeah, like review success, kind of out of the door because Stray got nominated. Okay, so
That game
I had to
reviewed
take a
highly.
shot
What
at
was
Stray.
that? Like an 84 or something for some
It's
reason?
good, but it's not that high.
Well, it's not. It wouldn't be in this year's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just needed to take a shot at that cat again. Okay.
sure. Fuck that cat.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I think that there are 2 for sure that are going to be on that list. We all know what they
I
are.
think there's 4 for sure now.
There
Personally,
now is 4 for sure.
yeah,
But to start, there were 2 for sure.
yeah,
It was Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate 3.
yep.
I think for sure lock. If they're not, if like Baldur's Gate isn't there, what are we doing?
It has to be.
It has to be. Uh, and then now I think these next two are locks. Spider-Man 2 and Mario Wonder.
I agree.
I'm just gonna say it real quick. This isn't the nominations, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna call my Babe Ruth shot again. Ready? Spider-Man, I'm sorry, is gonna get snubbed for every award. Just for how crazy this year is.
Oh
Just
yeah,
like it did in 2018.
I don't actually see it winning anything. Yeah.
Yeah. It's sad to even say that, but before I've even played the game.
Maybe if
But
there's like a best like action adventure, something like that.
yeah, but there's so
Maybe.
much out there.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know. Like it got snubbed in 2018,
Yeah.
for everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, Spider-Man comes out in tough years.
Yeah, I know. Tough years. So those four are locks.
I
Now the
agree.
real question is we have a laundry list of games that could take those
Yeah,
last two
the
slots.
last two spots are just so that's hard to predict.
So if I'm going to go this way in order of like release, I'm just name stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if they're going to make it or anything. Dead Space remake, Hi-Fi Rush, Resident Evil 4, Jedi Survivor, Street Fighter 6, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 16, Alan Wake 2. I think those are your only 8 that could even do it. Starfield.
Starfield, yeah.
I almost forgot. So that's almost 9. So you're talking about me doing 10. I almost named like
Yeah,
15
you
games.
named 9 extra.
Yeah, I named 9 extra games right there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think you're spot on there. I think it's
So
up to those.
if I'm gonna be a snob, sometimes I like to be a little bit. We're not doing remakes in this. Too crazy of a year.
Yeah.
As much as I love both Dead Space remake and RE4, RE4 probably even more. The remakes out the door. I don't care.
I could if I had to predict the last two, I think RE4
You
has
think
a
they
good
give it to?
shot.
Do you think they give it to Starfield?
I feel like you have to give it to Starfield.
I feel like you do.
You gotta throw Xbox a bone here with one of them.
Because
With
Hi-Fi Rush is
or-
going to get snubbed for everything.
Yeah, because I don't see it being Hi-Fi Rush because not enough people played it.
Yeah.
But you gotta at least just throw Starfield in there. It doesn't gotta win, but I think you gotta throw it on there.
So what about this? Are the last two? What I'm going to say, Starfield, Street Fighter 6.
That was my other guess for Street Fighter 6 because it's so highly critical rated and it's another genre, right? To throw in that top 6 with the fighting category. I think that might be it.
Okay.
Might be the route to go.
That's kind of
unless Alan Wake 2 comes out next week and it gets
yes.
like very high critical praise.
If that hits a 90 or 91 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Then it'll probably end up being.
Then honestly, it might be Starfield that gets bumped, sadly.
Yeah, good point. It might end up being Starfield that ends up getting bumped, yeah.
Even though
that would be sad.
Starfield just especially in the review side, still feels like it's like underperformed review wise. Like I don't understand these reviews for Starfield. I don't know.
Like 86 and 2. That's certainly not bad. I mean, that's a great score, but it's like
I feel like this should be higher personally, but
yeah, it was originally at that 88, then it just kind of kept dropping. I feel like it should have stuck with that 88, but whatever. You can't control these reviewers.
So no Diablo 4, no Final Fantasy 16, right?
Diablo I can't speak of. FF16.
That's true.
I don't think so. I see a lot of people putting FF16 in that list, like people that are guessing, and I just don't know. I don't. You could, I guess.
Maybe if there's 10 games.
Starfield,
right?
I feel like you should because it's not gonna win RPG of the year either, right?
Yeah.
Where like coming into this year, you would have been like, "Oh, Starfield's a lock for the RPG of the year," but Baldur's Gate 3 is certainly winning that.
I mean,
I gotta imagine
Diablo could, take a run for its money. I don't think it'd win an RPG of the year, but like it could. Yeah, they need to go to 10. Keeley,
go to 10. Go to 10. You can include a good amount then.
Yeah. Then you can have more of a variety and stuff.
All right, we will now move on to what we've been playing.
And the funniest thing, real quick, is there are so many games I didn't even name there.
Yeah, this year's
Armored Core.
I mean, shit, I would love Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars would be the one
games.
I would throw in there. But
so many.
Speaking of Sea of Stars, that is what I've been playing. I've now beaten Sea of Stars.
Oh, good,
yes,
good.
Yes, I've beaten Sea of Stars.
I was hoping you would.
Big gripe with this game, I talked about it last week a little bit, is that true ending.
Yeah,
that true ending, that because it is so fucking cool what
Is
happens in it.
it?
I looked it up after I beat it, right? And I just watched the whole true ending, and yeah, it is totally fucking worth it to see that true ending. But what you got to do to get that true ending is very annoying. You got to do like everything in the game and collect all. You got to open every chest and all that, and then there's a bunch of
Oh,
side quests that open up right at the end of the game, like right at the point of no return type of thing. That's when the side quests open up, and there's four of them. And, they all sounded really cool too, like story wise. I just didn't have time to do them because I beat this literally 2 days ago. So I was just like, I got to beat this before Spider Man. So I just didn't have time to do them. Otherwise, I would have. And I think that it would have been very hype moment for me to see the true ending after doing all of that, right? But so I mean, I do think it's totally worth if you're playing that game to do everything just to see that true ending because it's very cool story wise. But yeah, so a little bit disappointed in that. It's kind of annoying. It's annoying too because the original ending I got just felt kind of unfinished. You know, it felt like we were
oh,
missing certain pieces there a little, and then you get the true ending, and that really was like a true ending. You know, and so yeah, that's disappointing side. But nonetheless, I love that game, man. It was such a great time. The story's actually incredible, especially towards the end when it picks back up. I probably had like 6-ish hours left last week, which was a lot more than I expected. I thought I was like 2 hours away from beating it, but yeah, it just kind of kept going, and the ramp up to the end was really cool, really fun, great story, great characters, and yeah, had a great time with that game, man.
so is this in your top 10, you
Yeah,
think, or you think it'll make that your top
yeah,
10 this year?
I think it's in my top 10 for sure.
Okay. You
Yeah,
think there's a way it
I
gets
keep
in
saying
the
you keep asking me that after all these games, and
Yeah.
I keep saying yeah, but I don't know. I guess when it comes down to it, I'm gonna have to cut certain things off. It'll be interesting to see, but like yeah, I like this game more than a few other games that I've played this year. So yeah,
Okay.
it'll definitely be up there.
Do you think you would try to argue for the Nerdic Gods top 10? Or is that not
Yeah,
you don't think it'd make that?
it always gets weird when we're doing our top 10 because not all of us have played it, right?
Yeah.
If like you played it and you like it, yeah, I'd say it's a lock then. But
I mean,
yeah, no, no.
I have played a little bit.
Sure,
So,
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll try to argue for it certainly, but
okay.
yeah, I don't know, not holding my breath for that. But yeah, love the game, man. It was great. Wish I could have done the other side things. Maybe I'll go back and try to pop into that later in the year. But yeah, great game. Love the combat. There was an arena that opened up, and I was like, "Oh, you fucks! You guys got to put an arena in right at the end." Oh, and I was like, "Damn, I really want to play that." So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go back and try that some more. But yeah, great time, man. Really great story. I think it's one of my favorite stories of the year for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get back to it.
Cool, cool. Yeah, awesome game, man. And that's pretty much it. Just other than that, just waiting for Spider Man now.
Waiting for Spider-Man.
Waiting for
Yeah.
Spider Man.
You
Ready to
playing
go.
it at
All I
midnight
have left
tonight?
is Spider Man. I am, yeah. I'm off tomorrow,
Ye-
so I'm just gonna
Oh, baby.
I'm plowing through Spider Man there. Gonna have a
Whoa, you plowing that
I'm
19
fine.
inches of Venom?
Peter, get ready. Me and Venom are gonna give it to you.
Whoa.
You got that Venom, you know what I'm saying? Do the horn thing he does in the music video, whatever.
He does, yeah.
That's how I'll come at Peter. Daniel, what have you been playing?
So I was pretty close to the end. Was I close to the end last week of El Paso Elsewhere? I forget.
I think so, yeah.
So I beat that game. It was much longer than I expected. Not that it was even really that long. I think I took like 6 to 7 hours to beat it,
Cool.
which is what isn't necessarily that long, but it's definitely a lot of levels. Like you are kind of going through these levels pretty quick.
By the way,
Um,
sorry to interrupt. With Sea of Stars, it took me 29 hours and 7 minutes, and they paused.
okay,
They paused when you paused the clock, so that's how long it like actually
okay,
took me.
okay. That's still not too bad for an RPG.
Yeah,
I
no,
know you said it was a
wasn't too
little
bad.
longer than you wanted it to be, but
Yeah, I
um,
would have shaved off like 10 hours there personally, but
okay. Yeah, it was a lot just like meaningless stuff you were doing.
yeah, there's kind of a lull in the middle of that game's story, I'd say. But
Okay.
yeah, sorry, continue.
Yeah, so I beat El Paso Elsewhere. I think there are like two endings to the game, and I'm not sure how to get the other ending. I think I can guess.
What is up with these two ending things?
Um, so like through the levels, you like are saving these. I think they call them victims. They're like
Hmm.
people you go up to and you save them. I think if you don't save a certain amount, you get like the quote like I guess would be a bad ending, but they don't really say good or bad. It's like I think they're both kind of like good and bad endings. They're just two different ones. But I guess I saved. I did save a bunch, so I got like I think the kind of better ending. It does leave it like on a cliffhanger and stuff. Like I don't know if there's going to be a sequel for the studio. Wonder how this game like is actually sold. You know.
Have these guys
Um,
made anything else, by the way?
I've actually not looked into them.
No.
I'm
Okay.
not too sure. I should look into this studio because I don't know. I really love this game, so I'd want to see them do another one, do a sequel.
Yeah.
The story really, I really like the story. The very I guess the right word would be personal because you are like going after your girlfriend. She's the vampire lady. Like she's trying to end the world and stuff. So it is kind of a very personal story of like what James is doing. You know, he's gonna go kill his girlfriend, right? Like there isn't a ton of characters in it. A lot of it is just James and his narration, and you get a little bit of her dialogue and stuff. Um, but yeah, if you have time, if you have a good 6-7 hours to play something, I would say check it out. It would not take you long to beat.
Yeah, it sounds like the gameplay looks very fun too. So, and
Yeah,
having a cool story to boot, that sounds
if you're
awesome.
looking for an arcadey third-person shooter,
Yeah.
definitely check it out. It's very very fun.
Cool.
And then the other little bit of time I had to play, I played a little bit more Starfield. I was like, I'm kind of like bouncing a bit here right now. I finally completed the game, and I was like, I need to go. I do need to get back to Starfield. So I was like, I'm just gonna do it. And I finally beat the UC faction. I'm working my way to the next faction now, which is I'm gonna do the Ryujin one next.
Cool. Yeah, those are
I
the
thought
two
that
I
would be
didn't
a
do.
really cool
So,
one. Yeah, I thought that'd be a cool one because that one apparently is way more or less like fighting. I don't think there is any or something.
yeah, are you
It's
like a
like a lot of
businessman or something?
yeah,
Yeah.
like you're like the first mission to it is like you do a job application at a kiosk and you can just click whatever you want and then it's like, oh, now go to Neon City for your like interview or whatever. So I like
Nice.
landed at Neon City, um,
Oh, was that your
which
first time at Neon City?
I have not been there.
Oh, okay, cool.
I am like I landed and I got out of my thing. I saved there, so like I
Yeah.
could see it. Maybe it's bigger than it looks, but it looks kind of small
Yeah,
from the
it's
outside.
more compact. There's
Okay,
a
just
lot
more
of different
layers.
buildings and stuff like that. Yeah, a lot of layers and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a bit smaller. But it feels big when you dive in there.
Okay,
When I
yeah,
first got to Neon City, I spent like forever there because
yeah.
I was just finding shit to do left and right.
It's a cool looking city from the outside. I can't wait to
Yeah.
like get in there. And this Ryujin mission, I'm very curious with like its like corporate espionage stuff. Very interested in how that's gonna go.
Yeah, you got to get to the main story at some point. Just get to the
I
mission
do.
called
Maybe after
Entangled.
this.
Yeah, just get
Yeah.
to the mission called Entangled for me,
Okay.
and do that. Just do that for
I
me before
you saying
Game of
this
the
is one
Year
of the
stuff.
best missions this year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might be my favorite moment of the year thus far. So
Oh, let's go. I
yeah,
need to.
get to that for me before we get
Okay,
to Game of the Year stuff.
I will. I mean, so I got like 4 games within the next couple weeks here, and then by the end of November, I have like a Dragon Gaiden.
Oh yeah. When is
Then
that?
I don't really
November 9th?
like the
Something like
end
that?
of mid to end November, I think.
Is it?
Is it
Okay,
not?
cool. I thought it was the 9th, but I don't know.
I'd have to look
feel
at the
like I can
date.
picture that.
It is in November though, so I have those 5 games to play. But for the most part, I don't think there's anything else in November. And then I guess the Alien Hominid game,
Yeah,
but
November 9th, yeah.
9th, okay.
Yeah.
And then I don't think there's anything in December I want to play right now. So
Okay.
it's
Are
kind
you
of my
interested in that Persona 5 Tactica game?
oh, there is that game.
Yeah,
Loosely, I might
loosely.
check it out because it is on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So I might just pop in and check it out.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to play
Yeah, I
that.
kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, that comes out like mid-November
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that'll be like a right at the end of the year, try to get some
type of
last thing
thing.
in. But I'm hoping like maybe late November for me to the end of the year wouldn't be that game if Baldur's Gate comes out on Xbox.
Yeah,
If that game comes out mid to end November or whatever
that'd be a
on
big one too
Xbox,
for you.
that's going to be that last bit of the year for me.
Oh
Would
yeah,
be
that'll take up your time, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, that'd be cool too to have someone talk about that for a game of the year
I
stuff.
know we haven't had anybody
Yeah. That'd
play
be
it
a good one
yet,
for
so
you.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Uh, yeah, Spider-Man on the cusp of it. Let's go. It'll be
Yeah,
great.
let's
I have a
go.
great time. That and Alan Wake back to back. Time to be live. I was thinking, has there been a better day than the Mario Wonder Spider-Man 2 day? You know, there's that one day back in
We always say
2017.
it.
Yeah, we
Yep.
talk about with Wolfenstein, Mario Odyssey, and Assassin's Creed Origins. If only there
Yeah.
was a third one in this Friday. You know,
Yeah. Like that
yeah, then it
day, I
really could
don't
have
know if it will
beaten
be
with it.
beat
Yeah.
because it's like three massive, awesome games.
Yeah, we didn't even need like that. If like Mirage came out on this Friday, you know, that would have been good. Then it
Yeah.
could have just
Then it
competed with
could
that. Yeah, it doesn't
comparable.
even need to
Yeah.
be like a super highly rated thing, you know. But
Yeah.
I think Wolfenstein 2 is at like a 90 something. So
It should be.
yeah, I don't think
Actually, I don't know if it is.
it
It's
almost
probably in the
it
80s.
probably is, yeah, but still a highly rated game nonetheless. But yeah, it like almost touches that day, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that day is crazy. I
Yeah,
don't know if we'll ever
what a
have a day like
wild
that
day that was.
again. I
All
mean,
right.
this is insane. We don't need these two games to come out in the same day.
No,
Come
definitely not.
on.
Definitely not. I know Ghost Runner 2's next week too, and a lot of people look forward to that.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
a lot of big stuff. All right. That's gonna do it for the Nerd Guys Podcast, episode 193. Thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to us over at youtube.com/nerdgods. You know, some fun is available on all audio platforms. Daniel, anything else you want to say?
Wahoo!
Wahoo indeed. With that new voice. Daniel's the new voice of Mario, actually.
Oh, those spoilers.
Spoilers. Way to go, Daniel. All right. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.